We are back from lunch here, and we need to fix our background camera again. Okay. How's that? Let's just try to make sure the camera's working here. There we go. Yeah. That'll have to be good enough. Actually, to be fair, it's not far off. I don't know how my markers on the ground got so far off. But there we go. Alright. So that's going to have to be good enough there. So we're back with Champion Clix. We've just finished the top 8. We've got our top table here. We've got finally got some Red Deer representation on the top floor here. I'm going to have to hunt down their teams here, but that shouldn't be too bad. So we've got Mr. Zeke33 here, and his team just named Team. And he's rocking a fantastic Caveman Wally West. My mouse is kind of crapping out on me, but that's fine. We roll with that. And then I think Killarilla is still up here going strong. So let me go to the game live so I can fix our names here. There we go. So we finally got Battle Royales popping. We've got our main teams up here. And so we're finally going to see a Flash Raptor here. I'll do a quick breakdown of the teams. For Zeke33 here, this is a player that's looking at going to Canadian Nationals. We don't know if he's decided on this team or not. But on this team, you can see we got the Diabolic Bargain on the sideline, Pim Particles. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. I love that inclusion. Ares, Mimic, and the Treasure Chest. And then for the main force, we're rocking Caveman Wally West. This is the first one we've seen today with Flash Raptor, Ghost Surfer with a Hell Cycle, Reverse Flash of Stormbreaker, Captain America 400, Per Degaton, Copycat, and Timebreaker. So this is going to be a nail-biter of a game, all offense versus the Big King Kong. So we're starting out right now. Let me go to the live game here. And you can see the positioning. We've got we're at the saloon. And what are we going to do with it? We know the Alpha Strike loadout here with Flash Raptor. You damage somebody with a one shot and then you roll out full force. And you can crack into a team from corner to corner of the map. So it looks like Kong is choosing to go first. He gave map pick there to Zeke33. And let's see what Greenheath does with it. We've seen his turn one. Is he going to deviate at all? Or is he very happy with where he's at? Let's find out. It looks like we've got our symbiote up on top where he wants to be, but Kong's too far away for the Quake, but he can charge. And let's see what Spider-Ham's going to do. So we're picking it up underneath. And it looks like we're dropping the black symbiote down to the floor. We're double checking something on the phone here. What are we looking for? Looks like maybe an email. Real life does still happen, even in HeroClix. Oh, it's a ruling that we're double checking here. So a few questions at another table about how first turn immunity works, and I'm really not sure what the question is here. Ah, that's what it is. We're ruling here for Mimic. Here's the Mimic roll. And it looks like we've got the Mimic. So this is potentially very, very big because now Black Symbiote is not getting the normal start that it wants. However, oh no, the Mimic didn't come out. I misread the roll, but Spider-Ham is doing Spider-Ham things, picking up terrain, jumping left and right. We're going to see the charge quake here pretty quick. There it is. But things are a little bit messed up now because they happened all in the wrong order. It's not as clean as the first turn we've seen before. Maybe the feed tee's getting them, or maybe the placement wasn't ideal. So we've generated the terrain. And then is he going to break it with Kong as well? Because importantly, Kong and Spider-Ham do still have first turn immunity because it is still in the first turn and they are doing their whole thing here but never actually leaving the starting area. I am very curious, maybe we can get a judge ruling on it in the future, of if 2x2 bases extend your entire starting area up by 1, does your first turn immunity allow you to cheat up 1 square and still technically being in the starting zone because your 2x2 has increased that starting zone area. So here we go, Copycat. Looks like they're doing a TK. Here comes Caveman Wally. And he's sniping the bush here. Hypersonicking the bush. Here comes the Mimic roll. Fails Mimic. We successfully have stolen it. And here comes Predegaton, it looks like. It's a Predegaton TK and Wally back into position, creating as much space as possible away from the big Kong. Okay, we've got Ghost Surfer. So let's take a look at this Ghost Surfer here. So there's the Ghost Surfer card for you guys. Kong's doing a destroy. We're getting the Mimic back online. Please message me. There we go. So we fully activated Symbiote Kong. And where does Spider-Ham want to set up? Because both players know that Flash Raptor, Wally, and Reverse Flash are capable of getting all the way across the map, especially with double TKs on this team. It's not going to be difficult at all. Yeah, we are back. And we are deep into this very first game. Venom Kong back on the map. And we're seeing Zeke's team here. Good old Zeke 33. About to pressure him for the first time. There's a lot of people relying on Zeke here to take this Kong down. This Kong has ran through this event almost with impunity. So the saving grace of any of these top teams that this Kong has already stomped into the ground is resting on Zeke's shoulders. If he wins this game here, it upsets the entire event. And here we go, we're activating the one-shots. Oh, he's going through the motions. He's locked in. So that was potentially a Pim Particles and a Diabolic Bargain, or just one or the other. Definitely Diabolic Bargain to trigger the movement. Okay, little boop with the roaches. The time breakers. Here's another time breaker. That's what it was. It was a TK first with Predegaton. And then the time breakers came in. The Predegaton copycat combo here is so potent to giving your team that extra reach, getting multiple characters down. Because the big problem with Alpha Strike teams, the one that we see time and time again, is that you get all the way down to the map, you do some damage, but you couldn't get enough attackers down there to finish the job, and they survive and then they hit you back. But with this double TK rollout and these big hypersonic speed pieces that we're seeing here from Zeke, he can get the whole team there, no problem. So he's bringing the bush with him. He's already beaten the Mimic. I don't think we're going to see either Mimic actually hit the field unless Spider-Ham decides to pick up something else. Ham is already holding the 1x2 elevated there. There was the shape change. Avengers on the pass thanks to Cap giving him the 21. We got a prop coming from Spider-Ham. Here we go, next attack. Are we going to prop this again, or are we going to let Wally just go in on it? And he does break through. No senses there. So here we go. He's beaten the shape change a second time. He might be able to drop this Spider-Ham already. Spider-Ham is down. A successful Alpha Strike, not overextending too many pieces, not giving Kong too much to fight back on. And Caden and Wally taking away the rollout, removes the Prime Spider-Ham, which opens up the rest of the team to fight however they want. Let's see what we're doing. Here it is. Here. Flash Raptor coming in hot. For anybody who isn't familiar with this Flash Raptor, it looks like Raptor just missed, but we dropped in that Ghost Surfer. What's Ghost Surfer gonna do? There we go, he's coming in now. It's hard to tell these dice, but judging by the hesitation, I think he potentially missed. Maybe this is a prob. And here's the rest of the Hypersonic getting out of dodge. But Spider-Ham still did its job. It absorbed those initial attacks. And there's the fire markers left in his wake. It seems like our players are impressed with the team build. Yeah, we did. With 13 people in the event and 2 drops from top 8, mean that of the entire event there's 3 people playing Battle Royales right now, and everybody else is here in this top 8. So we're counting out squares, but for who? Is he calling in the smaller Kong already? Is Diddy Kong making an appearance, or is he going to wait around? Is he going to wait a turn to call in this big Diddy Kong, or is it coming in right now? We've seen this exact same practice of him counting out these squares multiple times now. Let's see if he commits. He loves running down these support figures and then just leaving it mono-y-mono with the big gorilla. The problem is we've got Predegaton and Reverse Flash there. Thankfully, the Kong doesn't have any team ability for Avengers to team off on. So the Avengers bonus from Cap is not near as effective as this would be versus a normal one-man army. He's missing out on that +1 attack. We're double checking the rules here. Hey Dylan, you took the #1 spot from Brian. Alright, I don't know what we looked up, but it seems like we liked what we saw. And there's a lot of precision strikers on this team, so even with those rollouts as Big Kong has, this team has no worries getting through it if they can beat the shape change. Here comes Kong. He's deciding to accept the challenge and just go heads up with these frontline attackers. Here's the roll. He decides to prop. And that may have been a critical miss. Yeah, we do have a John vs. Wade matchup off on the side here. They had identical scores going into this event. That is the most even matchup that exists in a tournament setting. Okay, here comes Kong on the second move. Let's see if I can turn up the mic just a little bit here. Oh, I know my voice is losing steam. I'm not going to be able to talk for quite some time when this is over. I'm also trying so hard to stay quiet here so I don't influence the game, because we're not very far away from it. But it looks like the Speedster team, the Avengers from the past, have survived the onslaught and they're getting another turn here. It looks like we decided on knockback. And that's a big 5-6 damage straight to Caveman Wally and knocking him out of the game. Massive damage with knockback. It takes so much discipline. It takes so much discipline to decide to just hit one character with Kong instead of just doing some of those really big quakes. But we can see where the value is of putting as much damage as possible onto one character and just removing them from the game. So here comes the fire markers. They're coming off. And let's see what happens next. Because he does still have this reverse flash in the back. Well, when the big monkey's winning, Brian, it stays at the top table, and that's what we cover. We give you guys the best games we can. And if the big 200-point symbiote Kong is winning, that's what you guys are getting. You're getting the King Kong and the Diddy Kong on the call-in here. So we're counting out some squares here, trying to figure out if we can get another attacker involved. With Copycat and Perdegaton plus triple time breakers, he's not going to have a problem getting across the map. The problem is, can you hit the big guy? So here it comes. There's some side steps. There it is. We popped reverse flash down onto the low ground, which is a really big deal for reverse flash because he does not have a very good easy job of navigating terrain. He doesn't ignore it. And here comes Cap with a perplex before any of these moves. There's a little sidestep carry. We're getting our probs lined up. And you can see the value that Zeke's showing here of moving your support places in first and then going into your attacks. That way you have the probs you need where you need them. But he's got to be so careful about coming too close. Kong is playing around this elevated as much as he can for penetrating damage. Fails the shape change. Looks like a 7. I'm not sure if that 7's going to connect. And we're going to finish the hypersonic. So doing a really good job of trying to bring this King Kong see, we're checking for Diabolic Bargain. It looks like we forgot to remove a token with the from before, so we should only have one. And so we're going through with this attack. As much as we love trick arrows, about 50% of all teams now don't have them on there. We used to think trick arrows is an auto-include, but now every other team, it's just the points are too tight trying to fit 10 on when there's so many good 10-point options. I can't fault someone at this for not including the trick arrows. Now what could happen is there are trick arrows on the ground from Spider-Ham. There's a good chance that those get picked up and equipped if he gets 2 turns to do so, and potentially using whatever trick arrows our man Green Heath selected against him, but we don't know what he chose, and there's no way to find out until we equip those arrows. There is so much hypersonic on this team that Zeke is running, and it's so aggressive. And here we go. We're clearing in the back. So he's done a really good job of doing those attacks and slingshotting back to where the rest of his support is waiting. The problem is the Diddy Kong's about to be called in. The big 50-point Konger. And he's grabbing him. He knows this is the turn. He's coming in, not even hesitating. I don't think the problem is getting through these stop clicks, man. I think the problem is hitting these big numbers. 200 Kong is so hard to hit. Yeah, this is triple rollout Kong, man. He's got shape change, super senses, and he's got the imperv. Here comes the little monkey. This is the 50-point Kong. And it's a very interesting dichotomy here because we're seeing this Kong with a very unique setup that we don't see other people playing versus Emily's team here, which we've seen throughout the day. And that is she's running 3 Kongs and the juice. And like we said in that interview with her, she's running all of the more standard options we see on Kong. But we're watching this homebrew just tear everything apart. So it looks like this hit connected. We've got senses. Here we go. What are we rolling? That's not going to be good enough. Unless I just misread it. There we go. There's the second action. And this is about to be a massive quake. Here it is. Yeah, we've got a lot of probs to break through here. Yeah, there's reverse flash. Here's the last prob. Reverse flash stays alive. Copycat stays alive. That's huge. Oh no. I take it back. I misheard. Copycat goes down. Perdegaton goes down. Ghost Rider goes down. Diddy Kong here, the 50-point call-in, has once again come out and just decimated another team. That is soul-crushing levels of damage across that whole squad. And Green Heath here is just calling people out on these team builds, saying you're squeezing so much cheap support into these teams, but they don't stand up. They're easy to knock down, and I'm the freaking bowling ball. I'm coming for them. And that's exactly what this 50-point Kong call-in is doing. Assist from Another World as a 10-point piece has just secured 15-point Copycat, 30-point 40-point Ghost Surfer. A cap is still up. And he secured so many points with that 10-point sideline piece. Here comes Cap. We're trying to see if we missed an action token at some point. It's all good. I think he picked him up whenever he grabbed reverse flash, or the flash raptor to click the damage on him, which is totally okay. Mistakes happen. Here comes reverse flash. Big attack stat, but shape change is so powerful. 20 defense, shape change, senses, and imperv is so much to get through for most of these teams. Even if you get through it once, you can't guarantee that you can get through it multiple times. We might be having some technical difficulties. Okay, wonderful. It looks like we lost some frames there on the live stream, but we're back now. Whew. I was just staring at that connection, sweating, hoping it was going to come back. But Kong is back, and he's rolling massively. These dice aren't quitting. These dice are not quitting. Okay, here we go. This is reverse flash, flash raptor, and cap against Big Kong. And there's flash, reverse flash gone as well. And then we got the steel energy healing Kong back up. And that's another piece down. Little table prop, always good. And we don't get the roll out there, unfortunately. And it's about to be a lot of damage. And there goes Flash Raptor. And there goes Cap. Holy crap, what an absolute wrecking ball of a Kong team. We've seen this team now 3 times. Each time being challenged in different ways and each time coming out on top. It was very cool to see this Flash Raptor team. And normally it's going to do what it set out to do no matter what. But it is so difficult to get that many attacks into this Kong. What an incredible game. So there we have it. Whew. That is a tough team to beat. We've got Kong going into top 4 now. That'll be Zeke's run finished. And that's just a tough team to beat, especially. I think Emily herself would be very upset to see that match. According to her over the lunch break, she thinks that Big Kong has a 95% to just smash her team again. It is just not a pretty matchup for the Triple Monkeys. But pretty good game. Zeke's team did what it was trying to do, but again, hitting that Big Kong is so difficult. So difficult, especially with the triple rollouts. And you've got to give credit for playing a figure that everybody knows is good. Kong has terrorized people in and out of this meta, the previous meta, ever since he came out, and he's not going anywhere. But seeing him done in a new way, with a little bit of new spice on him, leaning on some different support, and it's still doing the job. So very exciting to see. For supper, we ended up going to the mall. The guys from Red Deer, myself, John, and Emily all went to the... there's a mall right around the corner from here, and there's a big old food court. Some of us got Subway, some of us got Chinese, and a little bit of Tim Hortons action. For any non-Canadians in the chat, you gotta give it a shot. It's pretty good. And it looks like he's deep into a game right now. But so there were Really good food throughout the food court. Now, there's no sponsors on the stream. If you want me to sponsor you, uh, I'll do it. Don't tempt me with a good time. But it's just fun making this kind of content, making HeroClix enjoyable and accessible for the average person. Bringing this level of commentary to it is difficult because we are right next to that top table. So I've got to talk really low, kind of hide my voice from everybody here, and make sure we're not influencing the game. But on the flip side, you guys get the commentary. You guys get a slightly different insight, maybe a little bit of different gameplay patterns you may not have thought of. But there's only so many ways you can spice up Big Kong. He's going to do what he does. He's very linear, and he does it well. He's one of the best in the game at what he is doing. So just looking around real quick, we've got some awesome teams here. Let's take this time to look at the meta report again, because we've seen a couple more games now. And let's take this time to highlight some of the teams you guys haven't gotten to see. If you want to find this event, it's the Champion Clix Summer Tropical Regional. You can just type Showcase into the Browse Events section of HC Units. And that's going to help you out quite a bit. So if we open up now our web page view here, we can still see that now that we've played more games that Mimic is still at the top. Ares, Phone Booth, Predicton still there, but look who's sneaking in here. The main force Beetlejuice guys and gal have brought Beetlejuice up here into the top 5. Destroyer Armor, Chthon, all of this is what we expect. Atlantis, Throne Room, and Poseidon are still up here, even though we haven't seen a whole bunch. But Kong is way down here at 14. Even though he's been dominating here, and Copycat is following right behind. And Daredevil's probably the next main playable figure here. So very, very cool. And so if we check out the standings real quick. Ooh. Maybe we don't want to do that. Dylan, stop trying to bully people into liking the content. I appreciate you, though. So if you want a mental exercise from what else could benefit from Assist from Another World, let's look up the one-shot real quick. There we go. So all you're looking for from Assist for Another World is a character that has a lower point value version of the same character. This can be someone like Kong, who just has multiple point lines like we've seen with this Big Kong calling in Little Kong. I'm going to be calling it the Diddy Kong combo just because it's more fun for me. But all of the starter kit figures have 75 point lines and 50 point lines. So if you are playing an Asgardian team with Thor, and you want to bring in the Pulse Wave Thor, which is the 50 point one, and get a good Pulse Wave in while not having to just be limited to Pulse Wave on the top dial, that's a very good inclusion. I've included it in with the Superman starter kit from the DC starter kit. Hadari Yao obviously was brought up when she was when that was first revealed. But those are the first ones that come to my mind, obviously. And the other one could be Spider-Man and Captain America, for that matter. Both of them have so many versions of Spider-Man and Cap that are legal that share that same name. And so you can get super creative. The problem is, of course, that it's 10 points off the total. There's a lot that you can include for 10 points. But it only takes up one sideline space versus most one-shots only being 5 points. So 10 points for the one-shots would normally take up 2 sideline spots. So there's a bunch of cool options. even that are very, very accessible for new players if you like watching that kind of tactic. So I'm really interested in seeing what else people can make with it. But a lot of the very unique, powerful figures only have one click, or the other thing that happens is that you need that figure on your sideline. And there are only 6 sideline spaces playing at 300 Modern. For new players that aren't aware, you get 2 sideline spaces for every 100 points of the build total. So 400 silver would be 8 sideline spots. That's a little bit easier to play with. 300 Modern's only 6. And we have and we have so many good sideline pieces that deserve spots. So being able to play with only 4 sideline spots available, and then your 5th and 6th being assist from another world and the lower point value version of your character, that needs to be very, very impactful to warrant taking those 2 spots. That's an Ares Bomb you're missing, that's a Mimic you're missing, that's a God you're missing for extra support powers. There's a lot of things that are competing for those sideline spaces. And so you need a really good excuse to take those away for some kind of gimmick. Now this gimmick, Big Kong summoning Little Kong, is incredible. And so I'd say this is the most effective version of this that I've seen so far, or that I've even heard theory crafted. Especially on a team that you come down and you're basically just playing one character the whole time because you're killing the symbiote so fast. So really cool to see. So looking over, it looks like the double Edmonton table is pretty hotly contested at the moment. And it looks like that Odin is in the driver's seat of that game just from a distance. Looking over, we've got a Red Harpy team playing against Morlun. And it looks like Red Harpy staying in it, being aggressive, knocking things out. But Morlun is still up, and so is Beetlejuice. So I don't know how close that game is, but it looks like they're just throwing Hail Marys back and forth. Looking down the other side all the way across there, I see those triple Kongs and the rings that she uses to annotate which Kong has which abilities and which sideline pieces. And they're just having a good time. I would love to talk to Derek about the Harpy, but he's currently in a game. I can't bring him out of it to talk about it. I'm really excited to see pieces like that. And we talked to him about it during lunch because he's in a group of Red Deer players. And he described the team he's playing on just a bunch of characters he loves to play. So that is a team that he genuinely likes every single piece that's on that map, and he loves playing them, and they all come together as a cohesive unit. And if I've got any advice for new players, that's it. Like, play what you love and take it to these events and just box with them. And he's doing exactly that. He's putting in some work here. This is, I think, the first Red Harpy in top 8, which is a pretty major accomplishment. Well, I tell you what, Dylan, you help me get a sponsor and I'll work on my mobiles. Yeah, I could definitely interview Zeke if he's got the time or if he's allowed to do it.
Sure, yeah.
Maybe Tim Hortons will sponsor.
We'll check it.
Yeah, of course. Let's make sure everything's okay. You coming for the interview?
Derek is all right with it.
Alright. Here.
I like the trick girls
Or
a
I'll
lot.
just grab another chair.
Yeah, I think he's going to steal you another chair here. But here, I'll just swing you this way. obviously the first thing most people are going to say is that you're very young,
Yeah.
but you are a much more accomplished player than a lot of other people here.
Thank you.
I don't know if you've realized that or not, and seeing you pilot that team was really awesome. A lot of the hypersonic pieces getting in, fighting a matchup that's kind of uphill for you. So what did you feel like playing that game?
Um. Sorry, could you say the question
How
again?
did you feel when you were playing that game
Oh.
into that comp?
I don't know. Kind of knew it was gonna go that way because
Okay, yeah.
I couldn't take out the smaller Kong team
Mm-hmm.
where they had 3. But it's just about rolling the dice, and
Absolutely.
then sometimes it goes your way, sometimes it doesn't.
And I realize that for that cap, obviously you're giving everybody Avengers,
Yeah.
but that doesn't help at all with the Kong. So you're losing one extra attack pretty much all across the board. But how confident were you that you were going to pick up all the other points on that team?
Pretty confident.
Okay.
I just left the trick arrows because I forgot about them once
Yep.
you went over them.
I was waiting to see if you were going to pick them up and equip them, and then look to see what the trick arrows
Yeah.
were. But that was a really cool game. Bad matchup for you, though. You had a lot of precision strike, a lot of ways to try to get through it.
Yeah.
But 3 rollouts and 20 defense is so hard to hit more than once.
Yeah, and then he saw I had caveman, so he didn't
Yep.
pick super senses. He went
Okay.
to combat reflexes. So
That's
it was
the
a
first game he's
22.
done it.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So, how do you like going to major events like this? Because I know you and your dad go to quite a bit.
Yeah. It's pretty fun. It's fun seeing the builds people have, trying out your own.
Do you prefer to play your own build, or do you like to pull builds from offline?
I prefer to build my own.
Mm-hmm.
But I will look at what people are building
Yep.
and then use like some of those elements.
Gotcha.
Because like we went to an Edmonton tournament
Yep.
and they were using the you and like me when I'm angry,
Yeah.
and I really liked that, so I incorporated that into my team.
Awesome. And that's a tough inclusion. Who were you trying to use it on mostly?
Usually it would go on Ghost Surfer because of phone booth, and then he'd run through everyone.
Yeah. That's a really good idea for that. I was super excited to see it on the build sheet. Was there any team that you saw today that really surprised you? Or were you pretty much knew what was happening?
The Moreland team, I didn't expect to see Moreland
Yeah,
in the
and
tournament.
doing that well too.
Yeah.
Like, he's still cooking over there.
Yeah,
Getting that Moreland off the map looks impossible.
yeah.
So, are you going to go into doing some battle royales, or are you just kind of hanging out for the rest of the event?
I'll probably do a couple battle royals.
Okay, I'll be rooting for you from the side. You're
Yeah.
probably one of my favorite players here, honestly, because I love seeing you beat people and then just looking shocked. Because I know they underestimate you, and it's so fun to see you overtake that.
Thank you.
So thanks for the interview, my man.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. So love talking to Zeke. He's an absolute menace on the table. And yeah, Surfer is dope. Oh. Hey Zeke, the chat was saying great job on the top 8. Yep. So it looks like most people are starting to wrap up here. I'm going to do a quick look around. I am invested in what's happening at the Edmonton table there because they're still going. And it looks like Ghost Rider is starting to take over that game. Across the map, it looks like most of them are wrapping up. The only 2 games still going right now is Red Harpy versus Morlun and the Edmonton table of Colossus versus Odin. So I'm going to go pop over there, take a quick look, and then come back for you guys. Yeah, they are scrapping over there on those tables. Everybody's fighting for every last point. And you can really see people down this deep into the game. I don't even think they noticed I walked over there, to be honest. Everybody's so keyed in on where do I need to move? What attack do I need to make? Where's my support pieces? I didn't ask. I just saw it over there. If she did, we might see her at the top table. Big Kong versus Little Kongs, but we'll find out. She looked happy about something, so maybe she just dodged the Kong matchup because she does not want to see that matchup again. I'm really interested in seeing the outcome of this Red Harpy game. A top 8 finish with Red Harpy is massive. And she is still up, taking punishment, and not dying. And that's what you want. That's 3 dice now on her card, and she's still up. That's absolutely insane. Man, that's a tough game going on over there. And I can't tell, I'm too far away from the Edmonton team to really tell what's going on over there. It was very good. I think Z gave him the closest run for the money he's seen in a bit, yeah. Because normally that Kong's super aggressive, but he kept stepping back, trying to stay on the high ground. So I think there was a little bit of fear there. But it's these 2 tables I'm most invested in. That's the first Battle Royale is underway as well. They are kicking it. No, nothing crazy pulled. So what Matt's been doing here is if they pull only rares in the Battle Royale, then he goes over to the prizing and adds 2 of the con exclusives into the prizing, just to make sure that there's something good that people are pulling, even in these side events. So he's taken such good care to make sure that all the players are being taken care of, that I've got the space I need to do this setup. And this community really wouldn't be the same without people like him that are going out of their way to make sure things happen and that people are enjoying just being part of the community and playing the game. And it takes a lot more effort than people might realize. So make sure to thank that person in your community that's doing that kind of work and help them out. You know, inspire them and try to help them come up with new formats and just showing up and being excited and making sure they feel appreciated. Oh, we got a judge call. And that might be time in the round. There's Matt with the update for you. And they're counting up points. They went to time. Oh my goodness, this is going to be close on both of those tables. Or at least it looks like it. Man, I'm so interested to hear what's going to happen next. Oof, that's tough. Just got to update on the Harpy game.
Rematch of earlier.
Say again?
This one right here.
I saw 3 dice lined up when I looked up just a second ago. Oh, you brought Chthon on the map? Dude, I love watching you play games, man. You play HeroClix the way I want to play HeroClix. Just, I'm here for it, man. Yeah, just do it. Who cares? I absolutely love watching some of these players play. Like, Red Deer comes out here with such heat and such passion, and they don't really have a very strong local community outside of a couple players. So they'll very frequently come up to Edmonton or down to like down here to Lethbridge, and really just show out, or they'll play in online events and really make you respect what they're coming up with. And man, the passion in the game is phenomenal, and I absolutely love it. Hopefully, I'll be able to snipe Derek here too. But I'm gonna check on this Edmonton game now that it's over. I'm gonna see how it went. So the Odin team we saw earlier ended up taking the win against Colossus Ghost Rider. So the our Flash Raptor got knocked out. Our Red Harpy team got knocked out. That is the first Red Harpy in top 8. And then our Colossus Ghost Rider got knocked out. And I'm not sure what the final team was that got knocked out. I didn't get to see it play, unfortunately. But I'm sure that that was a tough match over there as well. We're getting some announcements here. Yeah, Wade won. That Kong's still undefeated. Handing out the Forbishman prizes.
Eliminated, but in 5th place is Jonathan.
John got the 5th place.
You got 5th
He sounds so shocked. He sounds so shocked that he got 5th.
Ending in 6th place overall is Derek. You get a parody.
It's a great finish. Okay, Aaron picked up 7th overall. And that puts Zeke on 8th. Fantastic finishes. Fantastic. That's tough. No. Got some fresh banter from the Battle Royale table.
Top table, we're going to have Ben versus Wade.
Ben versus Wade, top table.
Table 2, gonna be Lionel versus Emily. Over here, we're gonna clean this stuff up, and we're gonna start up another table for Battle Royale.
Okay, another table starting.
Do you want to? Yeah.
No hesitation. I love people that are dying to play Battle Royales and they're snapping them up. Yeah, welcome to the chat, Dustin. It's been going fantastic, man. We're waiting for the last set of pairings. We just found out the first 2 tables. I'm going to ask if we can, well, I guess we have to watch the finals, right? So here we go. We're getting the rematch from earlier. So we're about to see that same slugfest as before. We're seeing Odin versus Kong. We love to see rematches on this channel because people play them just a little bit differently. And those small tweaks can make massive impacts in the game. So let's go ahead and fix my live channels here. Here, I'll go here. Team 2, so the one with Zeke's teams on it. So let's grab Wade's team back for you guys. Wormageddon playing is Odin any good? And there you go, Dylan. There are trick arrows on this team. So let's bop over while they're setting up. And let me put Wormageddon on here. There we go. Wormageddon on the board. Kong's there as well. And it looks like we're even seeing the same map. So Kong chose first again. And Wade's running it right back. We'll see if they even decide to choose the same sides again. Both players very familiar with how this goes down now. Looks like we got a Beetlejuice mirror match down there. And no side steps, no poisons. They're just going to have to stare at each other and play good old honest hero clicks down there for 3rd and 4th. In the meantime, we're going to watch 2 behemoths just slap it out. There we go. And I'll let you guys know if anything cool gets pulled in the second Battle Royale. Looks like they're getting it started right now. That is the only bad thing about doing this kind of hosting. Instead of like playing the game myself, I'm missing out on all the cool Battle Royales and all the good stuff. But I'll keep you guys posted. And do my best to keep you guys informed of who's getting what prizing. Everybody in top 4 has been given a Forvishment. In fact, I might be able to find one here for you. Let's see.
You guys are last declared action.
Is he somewhere? I might just have to ask Matt. That'd be under... I guess WizKids Marvel 2024? Let's see if we can find it. I could not find on HC units because I can't spell apparently. 4 Bushman, that's what it is. Next wave Agent of Hate. Yeah, I can't spell this to save my life. Here you go, guys. I'll do the gameplay live with cards. You guys can see the 4 Bushman. I'll see if I can snag a box here in a second just to kind of show it off for you guys, but that's the prizing. Everybody here in the top 4 has been given, and everybody else has been given random different prizes here. There we go. So they're still setting up here. And in the meantime, we're just kind of hanging out. Oh. You can really feel the vibe of the room change in between these different games. Ooh. You got me enticed. Thank you. No, I just need the one. I'm already not going to be able to speak by the end of this. Those are good little sour gummy worms. So we're going to see what happens here as we go into this final round. The only player we haven't seen play against... Actually, we've seen all 4 of these top players here, so we know what these teams... Emily's the only one on these top 4 that we haven't gotten on stream. Everybody else we've seen here. No, it's not intense at all, man. It's actually pretty relaxed if you're not sitting at those top 4 tables. And so everybody's smiling, kind of laughing, getting ready to go into these battle royales. And then as soon as you get to the tables, it's locked in. Everybody's zeroed in, trying to think, what am I going to do differently this time? How am I going to beat this mirror match? And what changes are we going to make that are going to be impactful? Or do I force my opponent to do something different? Do I call the bluff? Absolutely, Sean. So we're seeing Ben about to drop the hammer. We've been seeing him do it all day. He's got his patented setup to get this Venom Kong, which I'm going to need someone to do some quick artwork for me because that just gets me excited thinking about Venom on King Kong. And we're seeing some quick mental math, but these guys have already done the math. They've already played against each other. They're just trying to think if maybe 1 square here, 1 square there is going to make a lot of difference. There it is. He sent the symbiote off to the corner. He's going to buy himself some turns before the Kong gets the rollouts, because this Kong is going to be, of course, big 20 defense imperv. But if this Kong is able to get this symbiote down, he's going to get the black symbiote shape change for the second rollout, and then that symbiote is going to drop the motorcycle. And that motorcycle is either going to give him senses, or it's going to give him combat reflexes, depending on which one he wants to pick. We're going to see if the change for the Kong team here is going to... I'll change up the camera here in a second. They're actually not even playing yet. They're still just setting up. But we're going to see if this time, if we're going to see a little bit more focus on keeping the symbiote alive. Or sorry, not the symbiote, but Spider-Ham. If we see him trying to keep Spider-Ham alive for that protection from range attacks, so Odin isn't as free to fight back, or if we're going to see something totally different happen. Wade is still playing very tight together. And last time they got blown up by this Kong, calling in Kong, you know, the Diddy Kong smash kind of combo that we're seeing here. And so we're going to see if this adjustment's going to be a big deal or not. Here comes the phone booth, but where is the arena going to be?
Slick and Justin, either if you want to play another
Alright,
Royale.
looks like they're getting after it.
We'll certainly have another Battle Royale happening. It's just a question of whether we have one or two.
You watch them set up here. Very careful placement of the arena. This is quite a bit different than last time. Kind of a mirror image of how they set up before. Previously, Wormageddon had set up almost exclusively on the bottom side of the map and through that very large elevated terrain up into the top corner. Now he's kind of flipped the script on him and positioned up near the top half of the map. And you can see there in the bottom corner that the black symbiote got put down into a corner.
One VR with one with three people would cost 33 to 75, but it's three people splitting the same prizes.
There's some hunger at this top table for some prizing. Just call the game and pass it out is what they're saying. But I think we're going to make people earn it out here. There we go. Yeah, thank you so much for hanging out, Dylan. It's been great to have you here. We appreciate you guys rooting for the players that you enjoy watching. The people with the hometown heroes there that are getting rooted for, they can feel that love and affection and that push. So it looks like they're trying to figure out how to do whatever battle royales they want to do. Let's see if we want to get this round started. Let me wave down, Matt. Alright. Looks like they're still deciding. Looks like they're all waiting to get started here. Hey, Matt. Why don't you just put two mats together and let them just play a 5-man battle royale? There we go. Slick's in. All right. Let's say enjoy playing. Hey, thank you so much for stopping in, Dustin. Great to see you here. You know, we've stalled for so long, the top tables are all laughing together. Everybody's having a good old time. You're good. Y'all can just walk past. It's fine. Just don't kick it, please. Yep, thank you. Get out of here, John. Yep. All right, round 4 is live. Let's lock in. So here we go. We've got the symbiote start. He's a little bit too far. Spider Ham's on the other side. It's going to take a little bit of effort to do his normal trick, but still very, very possible. So I think he's learned that setting up in the middle here is the best way to prevent Predegaton from messing with this start. So here we go. He already knows. They're looking at each other. They know what's going on. So we're watching the same setup here. We've full moved on to it. But the problem is that costs an action, and this team does not have leadership on it. So if you disrupt it, you're buying yourself a whole extra turn because there's not enough actions to both break everything and equip the bike afterwards. And that tempo could make all the difference. We saw it give the Morlun team an advantage, and especially because the map that bought Lionel 2 to 3 turns. But this is quite a bit different here, because he's only going to have 1 turn to really abuse this, and let's see if it happens. So here we go. It looks like we're contemplating how we want to do this. I'm fairly certain that he's actually planning out his next turn and where he wants to be while he's placing this down. So there we go. Now we just need Spider Ham to break it, or he may wait till the next turn. There we go. Very deliberate play. Making sure that each step in the process is right and it is smooth before going on to the next step. So he doesn't have enough actions to equip the bike. And some of these people are going to hurt themselves trying to avoid walking past the camera. A little bit of banter going back and forth. And of course, we're getting the Wormageddon catchphrase, "You are not worthy." So we're going to count out the squares. This is just a formality at this point. These characters are these players are very familiar with how far they're going to be able to reach. But it's helpful to just go through it just to make sure. Because you don't want to go on autopilot, get halfway through the turn, and then find out you did something wrong and have to back it down. So here we go. That is one of the difficulties of switching up your setup a little bit, is that you do have to make sure. Holy crap, they pulled the Chase Magneto. They pulled Chase Magneto in the Battle Royale right next to me. I love that piece. But Wade's still considering what he's going to do. He's got to choose if he wants to sit in the arena again. But he knows that if he lets him line up all this knockback onto his pieces again, then he's going to blow straight through these stop clicks. So he's got to position far enough up to make sure the knockback doesn't catastrophically mess with his team a second time.
They're on your team as well. You can add 2 pieces of standard terrain to your force if you want. So that's standard blocking, hindering, water, or object. Okay, not special.
Here comes. Looks like Predegaton's
In this
probably happy in that spot.
cool, but you're not playing with it.
So Hyper Time is very, very effective at keeping single base characters off of your force. The problem is that it does not help with multi-base characters. Multi-base characters choose one square to move with, and the rest of the squares just get placed. And so that is very effective in getting around Hyper Time.
You can add 2 pieces of standard terrain to your force.
So everybody else is moving up as well, getting into the arena marker.
If you hold a terrain like Slick did, that could be a third on your team. It's just a standard.
Interesting. Positioning around that big blocking terrain so Scarlet Witch can't be knocked back.
Once one of your characters wins,
And it looks like he's doing a really solid job of trying to protect everything.
generate that character again in your starting deck. That's a new version of the character for all intents and purposes. Like if you chose that this character is Thor's master, and it comes back, it's not Thor's master anymore. It's a new version of that character. Figures who have multiple point values. Every time you respawn them, we're saying you can pick point value. It doesn't have to be the same each time.
So we're just double tapping here exactly what everything does. A very deliberate turn coming out of Wormageddon. He knows how fragile this team is against this Kong setup. The problem is that if we call in the other Kong this turn and try to take advantage of it, then he still can't take the time to equip the bike because he can't take an action while also using that one shot. So let's see what he does here, if he's going to use this turn to go in or use this turn to set up. Because he likes having his full setup of the bike, and it's proven here with this flawless gameplay that setup is worth taking the actions to do it. And he's going to do exactly that. I'm going to go check what click that bike is on. There we go. So the bike is indeed on census. We've got the triple rollouts.
Just to make the math hard for the rest of the game. So, but I'm going to roll to see what cons we're adding here. So we're adding a Corvish man.
So let's see how we proceed here. We've got the bike equipped, but do we want to overextend this turn? Do we want to press up? Or do we want to just kind of hold back and wait for that turn that we can call in the other Kong?
At the end of the game is going to be a snake trap, so you'll pick first player, second player, third.
So Wormageddon's team, we saw last time these guys matched up in the Swiss, that most of these support characters here do not have enough health to withstand a Kong Quake. There's enough flyers on this team that as soon as they're all hit, it's all going to deal penetrating, and they all drop like flies. If Wormageddon wants a chance to win here, he needs to keep these supports alive to have a chance at getting through all these rollouts and big defenses that this Kong has. So let's see where we're going here. This is a hard choice. Remember, we've already used one action to equip the bike. and the choice is just that: do we move up or do we not? And where does Spider Ham go if we do? In this case, I think if you've got the shot, you want to do it with the call-in Kong, because he can overextend just fine. I would find it very tough to use only one action on this Kong to try to run in. So I think this is going to be a much more defensive turn. And it looks like we've used the free moving through panels. So a little hop up onto the high ground, and he's going for it. And there it is. The Kong is in. He decides to extend, put him in the middle of the map.
We're gonna put one in the center. So we have 4x4 starting area. So let's see. Sorry. 4x4.
And here it is. Here's the Quake getting rid of the shape change booth, getting rid of the heart-shaped herb, and going in on both Odin and Perdegaton. We've probed it once. He is -2 because he's attacking from outside the arena. Although I think everyone is outside the arena here, so I'm not sure if it actually comes into play. But here we got senses. Oh, senses. And that is a dead Perdegaton. But I'd much rather just lose one character here on Perdegaton versus losing as many of those characters as what happened last time with that other Kong coming in. So even though we lost a character, this is a fairly good first turn here. This is within expectations. You're never going to survive a 200-point Kong without any losses. And this is minimal losses. We got willpower. Here's Copycat. Copycat makes the willpower. It's very, very easy to forget that Copycat gets all the powers, which does include willpower and leadership, which can come into play. Okay, here we go. He's trying to line up as much support as he can. I imagine we're about to see Star-Lord coming in for a big shot. Star-Lord has the trick arrows on him, and I bet you anything that he very carefully chose these trick arrows in order to try to... You're good. So it looks like he's going to try to break down this Kong here. The question is, if this Kong survives and the other Kong comes out, is he going to be able to survive the crackback? And can he get Captain America involved? I think he can, because Copycat came up. Copycat's going to be taking all the support powers from Switch, and that includes the TK. So Copycat will be able to TK up Cap, and Cap will be able to come in hot. So he's moving his support pieces into place first. We always recommend this, and you can see it even here at the top tables. Get your pieces to a place where they can use offensive and defensive probs, they can outwit aggressively, and they can use their perplexes. Here comes the two Ravens. We are all in here. This is Hugin and Mugen. So, Hugin is the perplex piece, and opposing characters with line of fire modify attack -1. And I'm just double checking Mugen now to make sure we know what both of these birds do again. modifies their defense -1 and has outwit on them. So we're trying to lower this Kong's defense as much as we can before we crack into it. The problem is that all of Wade's cards are on the table. If you're playing this big Odin, choosing when these birds come out are a big part of how you navigate through the game. But there is so much risk of losing your pieces here. There's the shape change. Shape change failed. So step 1 of getting through this is now on the table. We got the trick arrows. Let me double check which trick arrow it is. So we're going all in. I've just confirmed it is the nth metal arrow, so stop clicks and team abilities are off the table here. So unfortunately, Kong himself has safeguard outwit, and that is not given by a team ability. So we still can't outwit the Imperv or anything. So we still have to get through all the rollouts. But now there's going to be no stop clicks in the way. But we're about to watch Cap come in and try to clean this big Kong up. If there's any one character in the meta today that has enough damage to push through this, it is this Cap. So let's see what happens. Here he comes. There's a shape change. This Cap does have Mjolnir, so he can see through characters. I think that is just enough with the perplex down. And here's about to be a lot of damage coming in. That's a failed imperv. And we are inside the arena, so he also has the free flurry. And we're going to see if he can actually take down this big Kong. This is going to be the lowest health we've seen this Kong at today at this top table. And he makes the imperv. Actually, I think he made the shape change. Was that shape change or imperv? He made the shape change. So he dodged both attacks from this free flurry and really cut down on how much damage is coming through here. Here's Odin. Our Kong player's begging for a chance. And here we go. Imperv. And he makes the imperv. All of the cards there for Wormageddon are on the table. He went all in for this attack. Brought the defense down. Used the trick arrow. But the triple rollouts came out on top. Making that shape change dodge so much damage. So let's see what happens here. I think we're perplexing down some attack as well. Copycat's got access to perplex. The really cool thing about this team from Wormageddon is that there's so much support powers floating around. He has no issue doing an outwit battle with someone. He's got 3 different perplexes floating around with this copycat. And we're going into the willpowers for Kong here. He makes both willpower rolls. Kong is fully online again. And he's got to double check here what he wants to do. So he's checking to see if he can break away, but Odin is only one size smaller than Kong, so it's not automatic. But keep in mind that Kong still has plasticity, and I don't know if the players are going to realize that's also going to be successful for breaking away. Our Green Heath seems to think that his Kong is tied down, when in reality, he's breaking away 5 out of 6 times with that plasticity roll, thanks to Spider-Ham. But Spider-Ham has been dead so often in this event that it just hasn't come up enough. So let's see what he decides to do here. This might be a really good idea to call in the secondary Kong, because he needs to clean this support out of his face. Looks like we're propping the breakaway roll. And it looks like the breakaway is good. He's going in. And he's just close enough to hit everything here. This is about to be a really big quake. But importantly, so this is -2 attack from Hugin and Mugen. That's going to be a miss. And I'm going to double check here after this turn what click Kong is on so we know. So we'll just bring up the Kong here. We know that we got through the first stop click. And we tried to quake, so we have to be on a special attack click. And I'll find out here in a moment what they're doing. Here comes Spider-Ham. He needs to clean up these supports so that way he can take this Odin. But he might be too low health now for it to matter. The biggest threat on this field is definitely that Captain America right now. And not to mention Star-Lord still has these trick arrows in his back pocket. And you don't know what 3 arrows were chosen. Wormageddon could have definitely chosen multiple Nth arrows and be able to shut off these stop clicks more than once. So here comes Spider-Ham going for Scarlet Witch. Here we go. A 9. There we go. We got one prob on it. And that's all it takes. Scarlet Witch is out. And I believe that should be a Mystics if I'm not mistaken. We're quaking from the same square. Here it is. Looks like we're deciding who hit what. We've got senses on the birds. First, it looks like Mugen fails, Hugin fails. The birds are out. That is part of the problem with putting both those birds out, is that they are at risk, but it's a calculated risk. He needed to go all in on that previous attack. He decided it was time to hit the gas, and he didn't hesitate, so everything came out on the field. Now, they're all getting cleaned up by this Kong. Plus, we got the knockback here on the Star-Lord. Star-Lord taking 3 damage, activates him on his aggressive clicks, which might be a very bad idea. Ooh, that is the wrong Star-Lord. There we go, that's the Star-Lord. So here we go. Armageddon reminding him turn after turn, Kong is not worthy. Here comes Star-Lord. Shape change. He's gotten past the first hurdle here. Looks like a solid roll. What do we got? Let's see what we're hitting this time.
He did indeed have two.
That is the second nth metal out of the quiver. He's got one more shot in there, and who knows what it's going to be. Here comes Cap. And this Cap is full health and rare and ready to go. We have potentially 4 attacks coming down. We've got a running shot from Copycat first. Oh my goodness. Hold on. That Star-Lord should not have been able to make that range attack because there's multiple characters within range and line of fire of Kong, and Spider-Ham defends that. So we're going to bring him up real quick. But for all intents and purposes, that running shot shouldn't have happened because Kong is still protected by Spider-Ham. Spider-Ham is now taken off the map. And here we go. So, a small mistake there from the players that could end up being very big in deciding the outcome of this match. Because this turn, Kong still doesn't have access to stop clicks, and we've still got a couple of attacks to go here. I believe Cap used his Giant Reach 3 to take out Spider-Ham. And Kong just got another successful shape change. Odin is still untouched, still top. Cap is still top. Now let's go double check what click this Kong is. There we go. So Kong is on click 15. We'll bring that up really quickly. So you can see he's very far down that dial, only sitting on a 19 defense. But as soon as he starts hitting, he's going to start healing up again. So let's see what we decide to do. We still have Baby Kong that needs to come out. And I think we're going to see him as soon as we see some failed willpowers. Here we go. And that's it for Star-Lord. And it looks like Copycat managed to survive, likely thanks to the close combat expert that she's taking from Cap. We're choosing our other terrain to come in. Looks like the giant bug is the choice. The giant bug is going to give whoever's carrying it poison. But he's deciding not to bring it in after all because it's just going to be destroyed here.
Okay, oh yeah, what's your question? Oh, that's Jay.
So, looks like we attempted to get a roll out there. Copycat's rolling. I imagine this is the copied Emperor from Kong. Fail. Copycat's gonna fall. So both players knew this is exactly what was going to happen. There's the big damage on Cap. And he's going to bring out the Dino. So let's take a quick look at this Cap again here. So Cap is on his stop click now, which still gives him the charge flurry so he can get back into the fight if he needs to. The problem is this Kong is starting to steal energy. So Kong should be on click 17 now. But here comes Cap is double tokened right now. He's not going to be able to get in, but that dinosaur will. And if I know Wade, he's going to be eyeing that herb bush there on the far side and trying to plant himself by to start healing up. It is insanely difficult to keep this Captain America off of these stop clicks unless you can double target, which Kong is so good at. So we're bringing Cap in, being carried by the Dino, it looks like. Nope. He chooses not to. He chooses to leave Cap there, let the Dino come in. Here comes the Dino. We got shape change. Alright, Dino's getting in. That looks good enough to hit to me. And now the other rollouts are good enough to stop it. So double clear turn for Wade. He still got the attack with the Dino. So we had a chance for damage, it just didn't come through. There we go, the double willpower succeeds both of them again. This is his chance to keep stealing energy, keep climbing back up in health. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to move for free anymore because he does have Odin here. He's got a +1 to the roll, and he no longer has plasticity. So he's going to be succeeding on a 3 through 6 to try to break away here because of his greater size. I don't know if he's going to go for it though. I think he's looking at the Diddy Kong. No, he decides to try to break away himself. Looks like he succeeds, and he's getting through here. That would have been a massive breakaway roll to fail. Lines up the Quake here. This is going to probably be the death knell for Cap if he manages to land it. Got some extra points, knocking out the bag of holding. We just got confirmation that Emily is going to the finals. And that should be the death of Cap here. Here we go, we're doing some quick rollouts. And then Cap is taken down. It looks like he's going to go to the stop click. Knocked back. We might need a judge call there to make sure that was done in the correct order. But because everything dies at the same time, I think the knockback's going to happen first, and he's going to be KO'd before he gets a chance to generate another Dino. So the players caught that pretty quick. We just want to confirm that's how it worked. And it's one of those things that is, as soon as it's said out loud, both players are like, oh yeah, obviously, of course, that's how it works. So we're right back to Kong versus Odin. And Kong is right back on some of them really big clicks. But remember, Kong is not getting the full advantage. Kong is not getting the full advantage of the motorcycle because he's told every turn that he's not worthy. Odin's coming over, taking advantage of the herb. I believe he has picked it up. So here we go. Gonna figure out how to come in and crack into this Odin. Double checking a power. If you're a new player, take this as a source of inspiration. You are never too advanced to, be too good to just check the pack, just to double tap. We're checking to see if Giant Reach works for a destroy action. So Giant Reach specifically only affects attacks. So he is going to have to move up, was the quick judge ruling we got, which I didn't know that. I had no idea that Giant Reach didn't work with destroy actions, but apparently it is specific to attacks. But very, very cool that our players were heads up enough to double check the rulings to make sure that something even that feels normal, let's make sure we're doing it right. Yep. Emily has definitely made it. She's going to the top table here. It's just been confirmed. So whichever team wins this table, we're going to be seeing go up against Triple Kong in the finals with Main Force Juice. Here we go. Kong's coming in. He is not worthy though, so he may not be able to see over these because he doesn't get any improved targeting. And also does not get any improved movement abilities. But it's up to the players to remember how these characters run. They are so used to playing these characters that they're kind of on autopilot at this point. There we go, we've made the willpower. I think we're taking a shot here. Shape change. And shape change is enough. Shape change stops the attack dead in its tracks. Successful willpower there on Kong, it looks like. Here he comes. So remember, there's no birds that can come in anymore. This is just Kong being limited to Odin's attack and defense values. Just punching back and forth, whoever hits what number first. I'm going to double check what click both of them are on really quick. There we go. So we've just got confirmation. Odin is top click. Or I think Kong is probably top click. Because Odin definitely just got hit. And we're going for the big punch. Kong is currently carrying the herbs. They're both healing 1 at the end of each of their turns. And that's another big hit from Kong. And yeah, Kong's not even going for the steel energy anymore, so we know Kong is top click. But Odin doesn't fly. Kong isn't on elevated, so he's not dealing penetrating damage. So I believe Odin should be on click 7, just healing up to click 6. We've got the willpower roll. Successful shape change, stops it dead again. And now we're healing back up thanks to the herb carried by Kong. So Odin is steadily healing turn after turn. Any turn Kong misses an attack is a pretty big deal. At this point, he really needs to use the herb in an attack, break it for extra damage on Odin, and stop this healing. Because the longer this herb is underneath him, the more benefit Odin's going to get out of it. There we go, another miss here from Odin. Another heal up. I believe he's back on click 4. Here's the attack. That'll fail. Back to Odin. Failed willpower. Heal up 1. Should be back to 3. Looks like we're swinging for 4. There we go. Got through the shape change. That's step 1. Looks like he's hitting Kong. Senses isn't good enough. Imperv's not good enough. Okay, he doesn't get senses because he's not worthy. And here we go. Odin's healed back up again. I think Odin's on click 2 now. So here we go. Let's see how it goes down. Everybody's getting a huge kick out of Wormageddon, telling Kong turn after turn, you are not worthy. And they are just locked into the slugfest. We've seen this happen before.
What click is Odin on right now? Is he back to full?
Yeah, we're almost back to full. Odin is full. Kong is
Yeah,
full.
okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, we're back to full HP on both characters. And just in an absolute slugfest here. My favorite part of this whole interaction is the repeated reminder that you are not worthy. Doesn't matter that you're undefeated. Doesn't matter that your head's up. You're just not worthy. It's the best part about playing this Odin figure. There we go. Big attack. He might be able to crack through it. But at this point, I think we're beating a dead horse and really just waiting for time here or a series of unfortunate events that Lemony Snicket could write a series about. So they're just going to slug it out back and forth. There's really not much more to it. I wish I could church this up a little bit more for you guys, but both characters are literally at full health. There's just nothing they can really do about it. They're locked in for the time of the round. And just on the off chance that something does go wrong for one of these players, both of them are way too committed to actually do anything. Now, in my personal opinion, using this booth to hit Odin and take away his healing is easily the best way to break this stalemate. Because then your missed turns aren't losing you time and traction. But these players have been doing this for 6 rounds straight. Every time we've seen this Kong, he's gone the entire time. And it wears on you as a player, and you start to lose track of some of these smaller, very, very simple things. And I'm sure if I ask him after this why he chose not to, he's gonna have no idea. So in the meantime, we're locked in for the ride. This roller coaster of emotions. We've got other characters, other players calling for a stalled game. Uh, they're really just kind of throwing dice back and forth. The odds to hit each other are so low, and they're both so durable that it's very hard to make real headway that matters. Not to mention, Kong has all his stop clicks, plus regen on those stop clicks. So here we go. We might actually get some leeway here. But the fact that Odin can stand up to this 200-point Kong comfortably is absolutely insane. Very, very few characters can sit here and just take this. There we go, clear Odin, heal up from the herb. And it's just so hard to make permanent headway here because that herb is still healing everybody up. And we are actively apologizing to other players for this top match. Both players are competitive enough that even the slightest chance at victory is enough for them to want to keep going. Because on the off chance a lucky streak comes in, or an unlucky one for their opponent, they want to be there to capitalize on this. And this is potentially for a first place game. I mean, this is top table. And there's quite a bit of prizing on the line. Like, even in slog-fast games like this, you can't give up on it. And I applaud the players for going for it, for really going the distance here. But man, it's brutal to play these games back to back to back. And I applaud people with the constitution to be able to do it. There we go. It looks like Wade has adopted the little wrist flick of the dice roll that Green Heath has been doing here. A little backspin on the dice. Here we go. Looks like we've successfully made another attack here. And there's really no other commentary I can add to spice this up. Like, the characters aren't even moving. They are just rooted in the spot, throwing haymakers back and forth. Each one of these attacks represents 4 or 5 damage. The problem is that the defensive abilities of both of these pieces and their ability to just stay alive under threat is so powerful that it dramatically limits the chance of, you know, a blowout on either side, and you end up with games like this. And there's time in the round. And there we go. So we've gotten through another slogfest of a game going down the wire. And I'm going to have to ask him, because I need to know.
That is what I need. Yeah, that's. I just needed to ask because people were asking.
Alright, so we confirmed that the reason that he wasn't using the herb in an attack and was using it to keep healing is because he felt that the Odin had a higher chance to continually hit him once we got deeper down to the dials because of Odin's ability to lock Kong stats at Odin's printed means that it became harder and harder and harder to Kong to hit and rely on steel energy. So him leaving the herb bush there is what allowed him to stay alive and stay in it. And so for our final match, we've got Emily finally on camera. And on this top table, we're going to have 4 Kongs all on the same map.
You should fake, run up banana for you. Just heal all game.
Yep.
Was Odin healing off the herb but not Kong? Okay.
I sat there and counted like 6 turns in a row. I would just slowly climb back up. I was like, willpower on.
Sure, just so we have it on the record.
There we go. So we're going to finally get Emily up on this top table. And it's really down to Emily to take down this undefeated streak that this Big Kong's been on. All the conversation online talks about Big Kong is dead. Kong can't be played like this. Kong's been nerfed. He's not as good. But we're seeing it here. It's still alive. And if you're willing to pilot it and play out these games and get creative with the team build, it is still very, very real. And we're not relying on like a Gaia and a Bloodstone to keep healing up kind of thing. This is just straight up Kong. He's stat checking you. He's coming into your face. And when he's in trouble, he's calling for backup from this 50-point sideline Kong. When one monkey's not enough, bring another one. And if you're Emily, bring 3 of them and back them up with the Beetlejuice. So we're counting up points now just to make sure that all the ELO stats are correct. And so they're counting up here. And there we go. I think we're happy with the final points. They're signing now. And let me go ahead and bring up Emily's stuff here on the side. So here we go. So for Emily's team, this is the first time it's going to be on the stream. Just to give you guys a kind of brief for it, we've got Beetlejuice with the Destroyer armor. Interesting choice there. Normally you're going to see a motorcycle there. So Destroyer armor is going to give her a little bit less reach, but we are going to be giant. And of course we are going to have that permanent reducer, which Beetlejuice is missing. Plus the extra 2 defense. So it brings him from a 17 to a 19, and importantly down the dial, could bring him from a 20 up to a 22. We've got 3 different Kongs here. Gaia, Khonshu, and Seth are going to be equipped on each one. And then the Phoenix Pog. For the sideline, we've got Fortify. We have Chthon. We've got Mimic, and then all the gods that are equipped here.
Congratulations for
So Emily knows. She already is not a big fan of this matchup.
this round.
I think that's her name.
The winner of this round will get Jaro and the
Tisme78 here. So I was close, but not quite right. Tisme78. There we go. So there's the team ups. I'm going to double check with Emily to make sure I know which Kong is which.
I'm here for it. As a multiple man player, I'm here for it.
So here we go. We've got Emily on the main stage against Green Heath here. And remember, these are the HC units names that I use for the player names, because I haven't asked permission from everybody to use their real names. Okay, we got the game plan from Emily. She's all gas, no brakes. She's just rushing the big guy and hoping she's got enough to take him down. So each of their Kongs has a ring on their arm to symbolize what god that they're with. They're all color coded. So the Kong with the green armband has Khonshu. The Kong with the pink arm has both Gaia and Chthon. And the one without any item is going to be on... actually, I guess it can't be Chthon. I guess Chthon has to be on Juice here. So here we go, taking it to Atlantis. We might see that big giant Reach 6 Quake finally go off. We've got the googly eye Phoenix Pog. And we're gonna see if we're gonna have another game to time. And look at these big Kongs on this map. It is insane that this many Kongs have made it this far. A lot of people thought the age of Kong had already passed. People were just starting to heal from being abused by this piece. And now we're reintroducing Kong trauma. This time, though, there's no Perdegaton on the sideline. Nothing that's going to mess up Green Heath's setup. He's going to be able to do set up however he wants here and be able to get his first turn exactly the way he wants it. Emily, on the other hand, is just going to go, all gas, patiently waiting to put all of her items onto the actual map. You can see that 1x2 elevated. Very, very key for playing against things like Ghost Rider. And, of course, the more recent Red Vengeance Hulk. Here we counting out. So here we go. So we just got confirmed that Lionel top 3'd with that Moreland team, whereas Wormageddon here ended up finishing top 4, even though he had more points than the Moreland team. The Odin had one less win overall. And in HeroClix we go wins first and then points. So it looks like this setup's pretty much over. We've got these trick arrows on Spider Ham that we're picking here. Yeah, this Emily is not enjoying this matchup at all. I can hear the distaste here. Not getting access to the double actions on her Kong, because if you haven't played Kongs before for whatever reason, they are exclusive that you can buy online. They're relatively cheap pieces and they're very, very good. For Kong to work, if you have less pieces than your opponent, you get to act twice and take 2 willpowers. And that's part of the joy of this 200-point Kong, is you can really fight up as a one-man army against much bigger teams, because you don't mind doing a lot of big quake damage, giant reach 3. You can kind of fight a whole team by yourself. Emily's version here, instead of leaning into the 200-point Kong, is leaning into Kong at just 50 points, where for 50 points, he's an absolute menace. But you've got more characters on your team at 50 points. He's only taking 1 action. He's not getting 2 willpowers. And so Emily is going to have more attacks overall, but Kong can reduce penetrating damage from characters of lower value than him. Emily's Kongs are not going to have the triple rollouts. Like, they are just imperv. So here we go. We're about to get started. I hope he doesn't back up into my tripod. Wonderful. Here's the handshake, and let's get after it. We know this first turn. We've seen it a couple times here. All right. Emily chose to go first here, so he's not going to get the chance to do that first turn. Let me double check who decided to choose the map. Well, if she's going first, obviously. So the Killerilla team does have Poseidon on the sideline, and this is the map that he's choosing. So this is the first time he didn't get to choose to go first. So we're very carefully counting the pieces. You can see by the way that she's looking at the map that she's walking back from his starting line and figuring out how far do I need to move up so I can go in and hit him next turn. Even though these are just big meatball kind of pieces, that amount of movement and how much reach you have is so critically important to actually being able to do the damage you're planning on doing. So here's the very careful count. There we go. Very good tactic. Being inside your own teammate when you pick up the herb means that the mimic cannot be activated because you can't stop moving where you're at. It would create an illegal game state. And for an optional trigger, you cannot try to activate it to create that illegal game state. And so very, very smooth way to get around Mimic. And it looks like Beetlejuice is about to come up. Looks like he's about to come breaking through everything. Or is this Kong trying to move as well? Yeah, this is the other Kong coming through. So the Kong in front with the pink armband. Is the one with Gaia on it. The one with the green armband is Conchu, so that's her prob there. The problem is they are not going to be able to see through each other. So wherever this green armband is, pay attention to it, because that's the one that matters in terms of if he can see you, he's going to be able to reroll some of these attacks. So here we go. Does Greenheath feel like he's got time to do his normal turn one? He's staring down 3 Kongs coming at him. If he loses his footing here, it could crumble. He's got to decide, is it worth it? Or do I need to actually fight back and try to deal with all this pressure coming in with me? He's choosing to fight. For the first time in this whole event, he's not taking the time to do his normal setup. Instead, he's just going on the aggressive. Here we go. We prob the first attack. And it looks like it was a double miss. So what next? Alright, we've still got time for the setup here, it looks like. So here we go, we're very carefully planning out this turn. He's trying to stay on elevated for the penetrating damage of Kong. Double checking the arrows. So are we still going with the setup or are we just pulling the trigger here? The setup it is. So I'm not sure what's fully going on here. Looks like we're being really hesitant. We're just going for the other punch on the Kong. It looks like we made the connection. And puts that first Kong straight down to its stop click. Not taking the time to do the normal setup here might prove very detrimental overall. Pop the fortify here. So that Kong only took 1 damage from fortify. So Emily's still in it. Survived the first 2 big attacks. And judging by the stopwatch, we've already exceeded her expectations for how long she's going to be in this game. So here we go. We've committed with the move on the symbiote to get it up there. And that should be all 3 of the actions there. We've succeeded willpower, failed that one, succeeded that one. There we go. Thanks to Gaia, we're going to heal. And so we're back up to full clicks for the pink Kong. She successfully moved up, scared this big Kong off of his normal setup, and now is about to reap the benefits. Because now if he takes that turn off to do what he wants to do, he's not going to be able to fight back for a whole turn, and that might be too much. On the flip side, that symbiote's going to go down one way or another. The question is he going to do it himself and have time to equip the motorcycle or not? If he ends up getting that motorcycle on, he could easily choose the combat reflexes click and go up to a whopping 22 and make it almost impossible for these Kongs to actually hit him. The roll needed would just be much too high here. Here we go. Looks like another hit. And another failed imperv. So very, very good first couple of turns for the Queen of the North here. And it looks like green can feel the pressure. All 3 Kongs are mobilized. But that does mean that they're all lined up for Heath's Kong here. He is dealing penetrating damage through their defenses and has Battle Fury to ignore the shape change. There's still a very, very good chance he just rips through them here. But to do so, he's again going to have to take the turn off and not get back on that motorcycle and lose access to those rollouts. So it looks like 2 willpowers there, both successful. And he's going to decide what to do. Here we go. We're going to do a quake. Breaking quite a few walls here. He's only actually got line to 2 of these Kongs. The third one that's kitty corner there between the other 2 is not actually within line of sight. Couldn't get the attack through the prop. Conchu saving the other Kongs. And he still has to place the Kong debris here if he wants to finish activating the symbiote. There's the Kong debris. And Emily's smelling blood. She's counting out how much damage she needs to get on this Kong. She's feeling it right now.
Freaking crazy, I know. I'll try shoot pile driver.
Okay. It looks like we didn't decide to kill the symbiote there. Maybe we're going with some other plan we haven't seen yet. He's going deep in the tank trying to figure out how to navigate this turn. Looking down at all these Kongs staring at him. And remember, the Kong with the green ring is the one with the Conchu prop. So if you're going to line of sight any of them, it needs to be that one. Here we go. Remember, Beetlejuice is still on the map, so we're not going to get any big charge quakes. Okay, we've moved the symbiote next to the wreckage. Still lined up for Spider-Ham to break it as per usual. Okay, we've got an attack lined up on the purple ring Kong. And remember, these Kongs are all still full health. It's just a circle of Kongs all falling apart. Straight to the stop click this time. Let's see if he can finish off one Kong. The less damage that's on this field, the less he's going to be threatened. He needs to just start picking these guys off one at a time. So we've got the charge coming through here with Spider-Ham. Trying to finish this off. So that was the last declared for the Battle Royales. There was the shape change. So the one with the Seth, which is the one without any ring on it, is the one that can be targeted. But depending on what arrows were chosen, this could still be a very dangerous roll, and it looks like it's a miss. That is one itty bitty spider ham in the middle of four very big Kongs.
At the last minute, that's whole thing reversed.
So we've got some willpowers here. And one of them's failed. That's a pretty big deal here. Especially because she's only getting one willpower roll per.
Okay. Just for a sec. So Slick. Oh, Garrett.
So this match is playing out much differently than how Emily expected so far. And a lot of it is because of all this pressure she applied right out of the gate. And really has made Greenheath kind of reconsider his normal approach. Because this big 200 point Kong does not have shape change, it does not have steel energy right now. And he's feeling that hurt. Every bit of damage is sticking. And there's another heal off the stop click. And so we're going to see what happens from here. If he doesn't start getting rid of these Kongs, he's going to find himself in a very serious problem. The symbiote needs to die, needs to get on Kong, and he needs time to equip that bike for the additional rollout. If he just goes into a slug match, he's going to get pummeled by all three of these big Kongs, and there's nothing he can do about it. So here we're going. Dual targeting, it looks like, onto Spider-Ham. Looks like a solid roll. Here we go. We succeeded the shape, the senses, it looks like. Here comes the juice. Sidestepping up, bringing that Phoenix Pog. And there's the heal up again. That Kong's back 2 clicks above its stop click. And we're going to bring up Kong's dial here just to make sure everybody knows what they're looking at. And you can see now, with 3 clicks up off that stop line, that purple ring, that pink ringed Kong is almost back to full health and hasn't had to do anything. Meanwhile, Greenheath hasn't been able to get to the herb, hasn't been able to activate the steel energy, and is having to take the time off now to do it, but it might be too late. It's finally getting destroyed. And it's finally equipped. We're trying to decide now which click. So I think that was back on the combat reflexes click. But I'll double check here. Alright, so we're back on the census. We've got a whole extra rollout to play with. So now our setup is active. We're like about 4 turns into the game before doing it on something that's normally automatic on turn 1.
It is a new breakable open, but yeah, it could be the other half of the same case. Yeah. No, okay. Derek, see, guys, we have the okay from Bob to do one more round in there.
So it looks like Spider-Ham has gone and grabbed the other herb and brought it over. And this has been a very defensive turn. But it is much needed, so that way he can actually start healing back up and tank this damage that's coming at him from these triple Kongs. A very needed turn, but it may have come too late. A good streak of luck here from Emily, And from Emily might be enough to just knock this game out before those actions even matter anymore. So, yeah, we've got 4 Kongs here at the final table. 3 of them on Emily's team, 1 of them a 200-point Kong, and main force Beetlejuice behind these big Kongs. Here we go. So, senses, and that's good enough. The triple rollouts are live, and they're already paying dividends. To my knowledge, from what I can see here, I'm fairly certain that all 3 of these Kongs are back up to top dial. We're starting to maneuver around. It's very important to keep the lines in mind for the green banded Kong, because that's the one with the probability control. Here we go, another punch.
Is this stuff that no one claimed?
Yes,
is this
that
just
is all.
we'll put it in a new player box or something?
Yep.
Okay.
Or if anyone who's here wants to pick through CUR,
Here we go.
playgroup might need it, or they might need it.
These are your
Here we got a prob.
from the last couple online.
And now Juice is in line to prob as well. So even though this is a very beefy team, these rollouts are coming in clutch.
Slick pulled ahead, and then Derek in the last action. This is all my stuff.
You know what? If my pair of
Well, I traded my puck.
So we're going to figure out what we're going to go from here.
I traded my puck to select.
It looks like we're double checking the wording on one of the gods.
Seems like an awful use for you.
So we're taking a damage here from
put you guys on the table.
Gaia.
There's zero.
This table is just a bunch of maps to pick from.
I mean, she's a crimson gem under here.
I found the Crimson Gem. I've been searching for years.
I'd be worried if I actually got this far up on the tables.
So here we go. Double fail in the willpowers. We do still have access to the small Kong if he chooses to do it. He didn't do it at all last game, and he's looking at it now. Here it comes. We are calling in the baby Kong. Diddy Kong's hitting the map, it looks like.
I'll say the wrong one.
But there's not a lot of places to generate him here. And aggressively flipped over the card from Emily. She's not happy to see this. She thought she was going to have a turn off from getting pummeled here, and that's just not the case.
John's paid, Wade's paid, and Lionel, you're paid. Dave,
So here we go.
guys at this table here.
Baby Kong is on the map. We now have a total of 5 Kongs on the map at the same time in this finals.
No, I think I said. Was it there?
Yeah.
Just because that stupid Craven's worth 125 points.
You played that thing?
So let's see where it goes down. Here we go.
The only time you'll ever get played.
He's swinging around. This does dodge the Beetlejuice prob for the most part. Actually, it does not, because they're all massive.
I will be here.
I will be here next week.
Looks like that missed,
Not here.
but we still have the second attack.
Alright. Everyone grab, sorry. Everyone grab one booster.
I'll take this one.
I don't understand.
So let's see where the second attack goes.
Know how badly their WizKids packages. So let's like break some more stuff.
Sorry.
We are fishing for something here.
Smash and
So double check the errata on Kong.
So you're gonna open your pack, draft a figure, pass
This
it
is one of the
clockwise.
benefits of printing out the erratas before you go to an event.
You played at 150.
Because you're
Anything
not
else
trusting
can
on
be played
common
at
knowledge, you're
any
bringing
point
the
value you
information for your
want.
team with you and
When
confirming it with
someone's
the judge that
KO'd,
those are
you'll
right ahead of
record
time.
what points were KO'd, and that character will respawn at the beginning of your next turn.
So here we
Anything in
go,
your
imperv
booster
roll.
that's not your 5 figures, you get to put on your team as well. So it looks like
And that's some good damage actually coming through.
Oh,
Should be
that's
2 clicks of damage.
That's just a radiation marker for this map. Yeah, so you can add 2 standard terrain to your team.
And then we're
that
healing
could be a
back
third.
up this big Kong.
So you can get 3.
And at this point, we're starting to see the dividends of that symbiote
Super rare arrow,
of this herb bush.
super rare titania.
And the only thing I can think of sitting through all these top tables is how valuable that bloodstone would have been at this event. It's only a 10-point inclusion, but it could have really slowed down some of these teams. Failing the willpower here means that one of these Kongs is not acting. There's the Gaia heal.
Oh, he's got a what? I'm just like, wow. The choices are. Oh yes.
And so let's see what Emily decides to do from here. This is going to be a pretty slow turn here, but we really need to get rid of this Spider Ham, but can you afford to potentially put attacks into him? At this point, Spider Ham's rollouts are easier to get through than the Big Kong's rollouts. But if you're playing to win this game, she's already got second place. She needs to go for the win. She can't afford to sit here and try to pump into Spider Ham. We need to just start throwing 2 targets out there and seeing what sticks. So here we go.
Choose Thor's Master. So when he respawns, he's not going to get it again. Because it's not when he starts the game, it's at the beginning. So your first Thori has a master.
So here we go. Here's the
As soon as
prop.
Thori or the master gets KO'd, then it's gone the rest of the game. So,
Here's senses.
yeah. Anything that says when this
No
character
senses.
starts the game, you can do every
No
time you
imperv.
respawn.
This is good
Anything
damage.
that says at the beginning
Assigning
of the game,
5.
you're only going to get once. When the character respawns, it's a new iteration of that
Went
character.
right back to
So
the
nothing's
stop
gonna
click
carry
here.
over.
That's a lot of damage thanks to Cthulhu. It doesn't quite go through.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Here we go. And failed the imperv. We're taking even more damage here. And Emily is seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. There's a chance that we can actually take this big guy down. And it all comes down to what we're doing here. That big Kong is on click 19, and we're going for a mind control onto Spider Ham. And this mind control is going to use his own trick arrows against him if she gets a choice. But you cannot make a ranged attack on the Spider Ham because Spider Ham can see other characters. And this is the first time we've remembered it this tournament. It could have come up earlier against Warmageddon. But if there's any time to remember your abilities, it's here in the final. We've got to clear here. We've got a heal going. And at this point, we need to start getting these Kongs out of your face. The fact that all 3 of these Kongs are still alive is about to become a problem. Because she's had time to get these probs up the field. The Phoenix Pog has stayed with it. And we are running out of time to turn this game around. On only click 19, there's just not enough gas in the tank without some very clutch steel energies. So what's the choice? Where's Spider-Ham going?
You did just make fun of Slip like 5 minutes ago for it, right?
Yeah, mine's better.
So here we go. I think Spider-Ham's committing on this Kong here. This is the Kong with Seth attached to him.
High roll
I'll
gets
bring
the
you
pick.
back to the team Clix,
Pick map. Second roll
and
will get
that's
the
not quite
composite.
going to be enough, it
And
looks
third
like.
roll will pick starting area first.
Has to be a battle royale now, right?
Yeah, we've got a bunch on the table, and if you have your own, that's fine too.
I don't bring one. You passing one? Which one?
Yeah, come pick one. Your pick is.
I was gonna say, like, I'm not picking for you.
Yep.
Go with the crater. It was fun.
Decided.
Let's go this one. Yeah.
This one's outdoors and weird.
So here we go, we're doing a breakaway.
It's the one I won my match.
It is important that he does have plasticity here, and it sounds like Emily reminded him of the plasticity.
Starting areas are down.
So here comes Kong. Can't quake,
On level 2.
because that is a free after the charge.
And then up to level 2 in the middle, so it's kind of wibbly wobbly. You can add 2 standard terrain to your team if you
And
want.
he's going to have to get this through both probs here. And he does not have it. Second attack. And they've gone cold. All those big hit rolls he's had earlier in this tournament have all slowed down. And so now, miss after miss after miss means that steel energy's not racking up healing. And there's a very real chance that these Kongs take it down.
I'll find out for you.
Still making the willpowers.
You guys got good rave music for the match.
That's right. I'm rooting for crater. That's right. With the destroyer armor.
Emily came into this event saying that if this was the final that she was going against, she had maybe a 5% chance to win. And now she can see the light by going on the aggressive, playing this match completely differently than their first time. She's been able to stall this Kong, getting its triple rollouts, making Greenheath play this matchup differently than how we would like, just from a reactionary standpoint. And these Kongs are just beating down this bigger Kong. And here it is, she's beating the rollouts again.
If you destroy it, you will get 5 points. And the Piranha tank won't respawn.
I think we've got one more damage to get to the stop click. We're on click 18 here.
I didn't use one shots for that reason. So I'm like, I ain't giving you 3 points.
So we're very close to the second stop. We're burning a prop here, I think. Senses, got it. Successful senses, keeping them alive.
Doing an hour, but I'm going to do 50 just to make
The
sure we're
longer
not-
all three of these Kongs stay on the map, the harder and harder this game is, and the further it slips out of his hands. Beetlejuice is using the prob here, and it's a successful prob. Senses, successful
But there
senses.
is no point total. Like one of your teams might be 200
The triple rollouts are paying massive dividends here,
but you get 3
and here
actions.
comes Juice.
Is that destroyer equipment?
It sure is.
So destroyer equipment.
Here's shape change.
Anytime you guys destroy KO Craven, you'll score Craven. and
Here's
pick
senses.
For the destroyer, but you'll get
Here's
to
Imperv.
respawn Craven with the destroyer. So you'll get more points because of it, but he keeps getting the.
And there you go. He's taking one more,
And then Lionel, each time you
and he's down to the stop.
you can pick a different thing for destroyer if you want.
But that's all she's got.
Oh man, Thor just gets screwed when you can reuse that destroyer on nobody's business.
Here we go.
Good to go. Starting your time.
Oh my god. How did you fail both?
Double failed willpowers on one of the most crucial turns of the game. This Kong is on, I think it's last click.
He's played for too long for the game.
On his last click, failed both willpowers. Looking desperately for any other dice to use. Here's Spider-Ham doing his best. waiting to see what happens here. Spider-Ham really doesn't have a lot of options. He does have plasticity for an almost guaranteed breakaway, but where does he go? What kind of damage is he trying to put down? He needs to end next to Kong, but because Kong's in the low ground, there's just not a lot of squares for him to try to get to. And it looks like that's going to fail.
So if he just quakes here, didn't he fail both of yours? No, he's single target. He's only single. Is that correct? Or should I be? I've just been looking.
Welcome back, Brian. You've just come back into the very final couple turns. We've got we've got 3 Kongs and a Beetlejuice on Emily's team, and we've got 1 massive Kong on Heath's team. We're healing steadily off the herb, so he should be 1 click off the final stop click for the big Kong. And Emily's going to try to finish the game out right here and now. So let's see if she can do it. So we're starting here. This is the one with Seth. We're propping with Spider-Ham. Still hit it. Senses. No go. Imperv. Failed. Back to the stop click. Here we go. This might be for the game here. Senses. Successful. Still alive. Still breathing. Last one. We used 1 prob on it. Senses. Imperv for the game. And that's it. For the first time, Big Kong has dropped. This game isn't over. Spider-Ham does still have trick arrows, and we still don't know what he's picked. But it is looking in dire straits. A very uphill battle for this Spider-Ham. So here we go. We're double checking the trick arrows. Let's see what Spider-Ham's got here. We're clearing. Back to Emily. We've got clear. Clear. Oh, Brian, you missed it. There were 5 Kongs on the map at the same time for a little bit there. Here we go. Punch on Kong and a Spider-Ham. We're ignoring the shape change because of Battle Fury. Using 1 prob on it from Spider-Ham. It looks like Juice probbed it again. Senses. This is Spider Senses. 50-50 Senses is going to keep Spider-Ham in this game for a while. But if Juice gets on top of him, we might start getting a poison happening here. So here's Big Kong. 50-50 Senses. And that will fail. We're going to take some damage here on this one. This is not the one with Chthon on it, so it's just 4 damage. Here comes a sidestep Juice. And made room for the last Kong to come in. Big hit, 50-50 Senses. And the drop dice fails the 50-50 Senses, and that's game. What an incredible comeback. Emily takes it. Emily takes down the entire event. beating
our champion.
beating down the worst matchup she had in the field, playing it completely differently. She's clearly in disbelief.
Ben on second place.
Wonderful second place. This Kong dominated the top table, beating down Emily on the process to get there, and then Emily gets her run back in the finals and is able to take it down. An absolutely incredible game. Very, very different take on the game than the first time that they played against each other, which wasn't on stream. And making these rollouts, making these willpowers, they're steadily able to chip down this Kong. And importantly, it took so long for Kong's game plan to get going. Multiple attacks came through without those senses, without the additional rollout, and it just stacks up, especially losing out on Steel Energy. So Emily got a full brick. We've got a collector's trove of chase booster there for our second place finisher. So we're going to see what they get there. So final top table. The final score is 300-5, with the Queen of the North taking it. There's so many missed willpowers in that game. Emily is clearly still in disbelief about winning that game. She thought her odds were negligible at best after the first one. But that just goes to show you've got to switch it up. You've got to put pressure on your opponent if you want to win some of these games. And that's going to be our event coverage. I absolutely cannot believe what a photo finish. I'll ask Emily if she's got any last words for the stream before we sign off. And we're going to see if people get cracked open prizing and what they're doing for Battle Royales. Thank you so much for being here, guys. I really appreciate everybody in the chat. There was a lot of people that were sharing this on social media, trying to get more traction for it, and I really, really appreciate that. We want to make as much good coverage as possible. We want to show that it's possible to cover HeroClix like this and inspire other people to do the same thing and make it more accessible. So, what a fantastic game. And we'll see if we can get some last words.
I've got 8 minutes left on the timer.
8 minutes left on the final timer here. Did you want any last words for the stream, Emily?
Yeah.
Did you want any last words for the stream? You've got a bunch of congratulations in here.
I bet.
Yep.
If they want to talk, yeah.
Well, just if you had any sign off for them, because I was about to close it down so you could enjoy your prizing.
Yeah, because I need to open and consolidate for the plane.
Yep.
So, congrats, Emily.
No, so you've got a bunch of, yeah, absolutely. You've got a bunch of people celebrating your win in the chat. A bunch of first-time chatters, first people getting in here celebrating your victory. Did you want to say anything to them before I signed off?
I am just in complete shock and amazement that I actually got through that because he was my loss in Swiss, and it was a very hard loss. So
Yep.
I had to change it up. I decided to go first this time instead of second, let him pick map, and I just rushed him, and I knew I just needed to get in there. And
So when you saw he didn't go for the standard symbiote first turn, what was it going through your head right now?
I knew that he had to try and kill something that I brought up. So I knew that he had to divert from his plan too
Yep.
by what I did. And definitely the 2 missed double willpower rolls on his part were massive.
And it
Massive.
wasn't until turn 4, you had 5 successful attacks off before you got Steel Energy in that booth on there. By that time, it was basically his 50-point Kong versus 3 of yours. And that's got to feel good.
Wild.
Wonderful.
Wild.
Well, there was your words from the champion. Your first time in here taking the win.
First
Queen
time
of
in
the
Alberta,
North,
yep.
indeed. So keep into everything that she's known for. I'm so glad to have covered it for you guys. Thank you so much. We're going to sign off and let people get to their prizing. Let us know which ones you liked in the chat, what your favorite games were, and if there was any teams you guys wanted to try. Thank you so much.
Bye.
There we go.